A school of piranhas just found something in the water. They circle it, they move closer, and then something happens that nobody talks about. They stop, back away, and leave, without attacking, without feeding, without doing what piranhas are famous for doing to everything they surround. What they found in that water is the reason the Amazon River works the way it does, and almost nobody knows its real story. The electric eel. You think you know what it is. A fish that shocks things. A novelty. Interesting but not scary. You are wrong on almost every level. This animal produces 860 volts from its own body. That is 7 times the voltage coming out of a standard wall socket, generated by a fish, in a river. But the voltage is not even the most impressive thing about it. What this animal does with that electricity is where the story gets genuinely hard to believe. And then there is what scientists discovered about how it hunts in 2012, something that overturned 250 years of scientific assumption overnight. Stay with me. First, the electric eel is not even an eel. It belongs to the knifefish family, a completely different branch of life. We just call it an eel because of its shape. It grows to 8 feet long, weighs up to 44 pounds, and it does not use its eyes to navigate. It generates a constant low-voltage electrical field and reads the disturbances in it. Everything in the water around it registers as a shape in that field. It knows what is near it before it can see it, before it can hear it. The eel is always aware. About 80% of its internal organs exist for one purpose only: generating electricity. Its body is essentially a biological power plant wrapped in skin. It produces 3 kinds of electrical output: low voltage for sensing the world around it, medium voltage to communicate with other eels, and high voltage for everything else. 860 volts is the record, the strongest electrical discharge ever measured from any living animal on Earth. Not close to the second place. The eel is in a category alone. But here's what most people miss about that number. Raw voltage is only part of the story. What matters is how precisely it deploys that power. When the eel targets prey, it does not just release electricity into the water. It fires a specific sequence of pulses timed to trigger every motor neuron in the prey's body at once. Not paralysis. Forced simultaneous contraction of every single muscle in the target's body at the same time. The prey is not frozen. It is hijacked. Its own muscles turn against it. Every one. Simultaneously. The animal is fully conscious, fully aware, and completely unable to move a single part of its body. Kenneth Catania at Vanderbilt University spent years documenting this. He compared it to a taser, except a taser fires 19 pulses per second. The eel fires 400. He also discovered that the eel can aim. It curls its body into a U-shape around struggling prey, creating a closed electrical circuit directly through the target's body. Instead of the discharge spreading through surrounding water and losing power, it concentrates entirely inside the prey's tissue, point blank, inescapable, sustained for as long as the eel chooses. That is not a fish shocking something. That is a biological weapon system with targeting, variable output, and a sustained delivery mechanism. In a river in South America. Now, the piranhas. Because here is where most people think they know the story, and most people are wrong about the key part. The piranha reputation was built on one moment, the early 1900s. Theodore Roosevelt in the Amazon, watching piranhas strip an animal to bone in minutes. He went home and told the world. Books, speeches. The legend took root. For a century it defined how humanity saw piranhas. There was one thing Roosevelt was never told. The fishermen had sealed off a section of river and starved those piranhas for days before the demonstration. It was theater, performed for an American president who had no idea. Scientists have since waded into water full of piranhas and come out completely unharmed. The bite is real. The mindless, frenzied killing machine reputation is not. Piranhas are opportunists. They prefer weak, dying, or already dead prey. Something that can fight back changes the calculation completely. Something that can fight back with 860 volts changes everything. In documented observations, piranhas in water where electric eels are present maintain distance. They do not test it. They do not probe. They leave a gap and they keep it. But it has happened. A piranha attack on an electric eel. And what the eel does in that moment is the thing this whole video has been building to. The eel detects the approach before contact. Its electrical sensing field registers the piranha's movement. The ambush is already compromised before the piranha knows it. As the piranha commits to the strike, the eel fires. High voltage, full output, immediate. The piranha's muscles seize mid-lunge, jaw locked, body rigid, attack neutralized before it arrives. And if more piranhas are in the water around it, things get worse for them, not better. More conductive bodies in the electrical field means more targets receiving the discharge simultaneously. The group attack that works on almost everything else in the Amazon actively works against them here. Numbers are not an advantage against electricity. They are a liability. Anacondas have learned the same lesson. A bite on an electric eel in water sends the full discharge through the jaw directly into the head. Most do not try a second time. The Amazon is full of extraordinary predators. Caimans, anacondas, jaguars hunting at the water's edge. The electric eel coexists with all of them. None of them make a habit of engaging it. But none of this, not the voltage, not the curl technique, not the deterrence, is the most remarkable thing science has found about this animal. Not even close. In 2012, a biologist named Douglas Bastos was on a research expedition in the Brazilian Amazon near the Iriri River looking for endangered species. He saw something in the shallows that made him stop moving completely. More than 100 electric eels, together, in the same place, moving with what looked like coordination. Science had classified electric eels as solitary nocturnal hunters since the 1700s. One eel, one hunt, one shock. Alone in the dark, 250 years of accepted scientific understanding. What Bastos was watching in that water in 2012 contradicted every word of it. The eels began forming a circle around a school of small tetrafish, moving slowly at first, then tightening. The fish compressed into a dense ball with nowhere to go. Then groups of between 2 and 10 eels broke from the outer ring and drove directly into the ball of fish and discharged simultaneously. The force of the synchronized electrical event blasted small fish clean out of the water into the air. They landed on the surface, stunned and motionless. The eels fed at their leisure, moving through floating stunned fish they had engineered into that position using coordinated electricity and something science had not expected. Strategy. 10 eels discharging simultaneously can theoretically produce 8,600 volts combined, enough to power 100 light bulbs, generated by fish, in a river. Working together, the findings were published in Ecology and Evolution in 2021. Lead researcher Carlos David de Santana had studied electric fish for 25 years. He said it was unlike anything ever documented. Only 9 other fish species on Earth are known to hunt socially. The electric eel is now the 10th. The company it keeps on that list reflects what it actually is. And here is the part that says something important about science itself. Indigenous communities along the Amazon had described this behavior for generations. Fish jumping out of the water near large groups of eels, accounts that were consistent, detailed, and specific. The scientific community did not take them seriously until a biologist watched it happen. What local people knew from living beside that river for centuries took science until 2012 to confirm. The river had been telling the truth the whole time. So where does the piranha actually sit in all of this? In the real Amazon, not the movie version, not the Roosevelt version, the actual river. The piranha is a real predator. Effective teeth, fast strike, group coordination in the right context. In the right situation against the right prey, it is formidable. But the electric eel is not the right prey. Not even close. And the behavior of piranhas around electric eels in shared habitat reflects that understanding completely. The fear in that river flows in one specific direction in this matchup. And the animal with the teeth is on the wrong end of it. 860 volts. A curl technique that focuses discharge directly into prey tissue. A sensing field that detects threats before they arrive. Pack hunting, producing potentially 8,600 volts combined. All of that in a body that looks like it should be easy to catch. That gap between appearance and reality is exactly what makes it the most misunderstood animal in the Amazon. Most predators in that river advertise size, teeth, speed, aggression. The eel does none of that. It moves slowly. It looks harmless. It does not need to perform. Its capabilities speak without demonstration. Every animal sharing that water has either learned directly or inherited the knowledge across generations. Leave it alone. And yet with 8,600 volts, pack hunting, precision electrical targeting, and a sensing system that makes ambush almost impossible, we are probably still not seeing everything this animal can do. The Amazon River is vast, brown and murky, and largely unstudied below its surface. Electric eels have been living in it for millions of years. We have been seriously studying them for decades. The pack hunting discovery came in 2012. Before that moment, nobody in science thought to look for it. What else is happening in that water that we have not thought to look for yet? The answer is almost certainly more than we expect. It always has been with this animal. Every serious study has returned a result that surprised the researchers running it. The electric eel does not fit neatly into the categories science uses for fish. It is not fully understood. It is not fully mapped, and it is nowhere near fully appreciated. What it is definitively and without question is the most electrically sophisticated animal on Earth, operating in a river that most people associate with a completely different predator. The piranha gets the documentaries, gets the Hollywood films, gets the reputation, and changes course in the water when the electric eel is present. That tells you everything about the true hierarchy of the Amazon River. Not the mythology, the reality that plays out beneath that brown surface every single day. Indigenous communities knew it. The other animals in that river know it. Science confirmed it in 2021, and now you know it. The most famous predator in the Amazon is afraid of something, and it does not have impressive teeth. It does not have armor. It does not look like what it actually is. It looks like a slow, harmless fish in murky water, and it produces more electrical voltage than 7 of your wall sockets combined. While hunting in coordinated packs, while sensing your approach before you arrive, the Amazon River keeps its secrets well. This one was hiding in plain sight the whole time in a body that looked like prey. If this changed how you see what is actually in that river, share it with someone who still thinks the piranha runs the Amazon. Subscribe, because the Amazon has more of these stories. Animals hiding what they really are in plain sight. And we are just getting started pulling them out.